Coming up, a family home made for fun in Northern California.
This is another one of the climbing walls that we have in our house.
A new home in Nevada that wasn't such an easy sell.
My husband kind of talked me into building this house.
And a European-style home south of San Francisco introduces a pair to life on a grand scale.
We really discovered so many things when we had to furnish this house.
They're all next on Homes Across America. Hi, I'm Suzanne Dunn, and welcome to Homes Across America. An ideal house design really reflects its owner's personality and lifestyle. So when this California architect created a home for his active family, he had them climbing the walls.
This is another one of the climbing walls that we have in our house. And this one's particularly difficult.
Rock climbing was just one of the activities that architect David Wilson and his wife Stacia Cronin made room for in their home. It's something they all enjoy, so there's a rock climbing wall in the garage and one in son Chase's bedroom that he helped design with his dad.
The best thing about this house to me, I guess, would be that it's a fun house. It doesn't take itself too seriously. There's a spirit of exploration that's in the house as much as it's in the trips we do in the outdoors. And I think that was a real success. And ultimately that permeates everything about this house.
This is the fourth home that David has designed for his active family of four. And the look of the house is based upon simple farm buildings David once photographed for a book.
The walls are curved. And in many ways it's similar to the walls of a silo, of a grain silo, which is what is in the photograph here on the wall. This is curved concrete.
On the home's main floor, the kitchen is command central.
We spend most of our time here. The kids do their homework here. I'm kind of scurrying around, putting things away, filling out forms, trying to figure out carpools. We have a lot of guests and family come here, and it's nice to have, I think, a big counter so that you can give people jobs to do. Here's a knife, here's a cutting board, you help.
As the house came together, David didn't limit himself to designing just the structure. He got his hands into everything.
David designed the table, and this was the result of, we were looking for a kitchen table, and I kept on going to the stores, bringing back pictures, bringing back cut sheets. No, it's not right, it's not quite right. And after doing this a couple dozen times, he said, okay, I'll just design it. He designed the chairs, the bar stools as well.
The living room is an open soaring space accented by a striking granite fireplace.
Stace and I found this amazing stone, which is a conglomerate granite, and you see every stone that as it was quarried out of the riverbed. So we just used this slab of granite as the face of the fireplace, separating it off the wall. I think it's a great expression of something that's both extremely natural and somewhat polished.
With such large windows and amazing views of the bay, the home really brings the outside in. To accentuate that, David used natural tones in the home's pigmented plaster walls.
I, in particular, grew up spending lots of time in the outdoors, and I think I've always enjoyed not just the sunsets, but the type of amazingly vivid colors that you see in nature. I try to have the color that I'm using inside reflect these sort of rich densities that you see in nature.
But sometimes David's been known to go a bit too far.
In any project, you have these compromises. In this case, the wall you see behind you, this purple wall, when we were originally trying to decide on the color, I had thought I really want something with a very electric, very hot color. So I put up on the wall some samples of what I had in mind, which happened to all be these colors that looked like they'd come out of a lipstick case. Stace came in and just immediately vetoed that completely.
They were a little wild. I was kind of surprised he could ever come up with those crazy colors. But I think it worked out in the end.
The master suite has a wonderful sweeping roof. The space is kept open by walls that come up a little short.
One of the things I always try to do is when you have this house has a lot of high ceilings, and it's often really nice to cut away walls to other spaces. So above me here, this is a wall between the bedroom and the closet, but we cut away the top of the wall, and so you get light in the closet, and you also have light from the eastern windows that are in the closet that shine back in here. But even more than that, it opens up the space. The edges of the room are not quite as clear where it stops and starts. And I find that to be very interesting just sculpturally in space.
And speaking of sculptural, check out the all-in-one sinks and countertop in the master bath.
This is made for the house out of colored concrete. And to do that, they make a very elaborate mold, pour the concrete in, and then pull it out, and it doesn't look very good. So they grind on it forever with grinders, smoothing everything out. And the beauty of the concrete is that it allows you to do these completely sculptural, unique shapes, like this long counter with these two sinks, all one piece.
As fun and colorful as the house is on the inside, the yard outside holds a few surprises. A garden that boasts apple trees.
The dog goes out and eats the apples off the trees, quite literally jumping up about 6 feet into the tree until his head disappears in the foliage and he pulls the apples out.
Because David was willing to take risks and have a little fun, he was able to create a home that suits his family to a T.
It's a friendly home. I think people feel comfortable. We've had lots of, parties with extended family here, and, everyone's birthdays or various events happen, and, people can kind of wander around, and I think they feel comfortable, and it's modern, but it's not cold.
Coming up,
My job would be over here cooking, and my husband would be on his barbecue over here.
a new Nevada home with his and hers features at every turn. For one couple in Nevada, building a new home took a little negotiating. He had to convince her to do it. But it all paid off, and now they have a new contemporary house that they both love.
My husband kind of talked me into building this house, and I'm forever grateful because I love it here.
Cindy and Joe Walker are longtime residents of Reno, Nevada. And they admit they don't always see eye to eye when it comes to design. Joe had a dream to build a new contemporary home, but Cindy was more inclined to stay put.
I was kind of happy in the house we were in because we'd been there for 23 years, and I was comfortable there, and I don't particularly like change a whole lot. But my one requirement, and I said we are not building this house unless we have a little fund for a window washer, because I will not live in a house with all these beautiful, beautiful windows and not be able to see out.
Cindy and Joe built their new home with plenty of windows to take advantage of the great view. The design of the home is contemporary, which Joe really likes. But Cindy has a softer, more whimsical sense of style, and part of their agreement was that she would be in charge when it came to decor.
I wasn't taking any of my old furniture, which my husband said, oh, well, I don't see why we can't do that. And I said, well, you will see why if we take it, and you'll look at the house and you'll think, why did I build this house and put this little tiny furniture in there?
Cindy enlisted the help of interior designer Peter Mattis, who she'd worked with on her last house.
We did custom-made chairs for scale in this room because of the height of the ceilings and whatnot. Big volume, nice, comfortable, happy chairs that you can sit in and relax in.
A lamp from Israel also adds a bit of whimsy to the room, as do a pair of unique chairs called tipper chairs.
Do you know what I love about this living room? It's so relaxed, and you can use these tipper chairs, move them around the room, relax in them, tip back and forth in them, put your beer on the floor. It's a great thing.
The living room is open to 2 dining areas, also reflecting more of Cindy's taste than Joe's. Open to the dining area is a kitchen that was built with convenience as the most important goal.
On this side of my sink, I have my Savior, my full-size freezer, and my full-size refrigerator. So no more trekking all over the place to find stuff in another freezer and another refrigerator.
And with 2 dishwashers, 2 trash compactors, and 2 sinks, the kitchen was definitely built to be used by more than one person.
Well, my job would be over here cooking on my 6-burner wonderful gas stove. And my husband would be over here cooking on his barbecue over here, because that's what he does best. And then he goes from the barbecue here straight over to the wine cooler to pick out a choice of wine for his dinner.
While some houses might have a 2 or 3 car garage, this house has twin his and hers garages. There's one for Cindy.
And I can go from my garage straight into my kitchen.
And there's a whole separate garage just for Joe. Another part of the house built especially for Joe is this library.
This is my husband's favorite room in the house because he's such an avid reader. He reads everything from history to medicine and everything in between. And as you can see, it's kind of a work in progress. We also have an upper level here, which is still a little bare, but I can guarantee will be filled up pretty soon. And our granddaughters love to climb up the spiral staircase here and stay up there for hours and read.
Next to the library is the master suite.
This bedroom is my retreat. I can snuggle up in here and feel very comfortable, but then I can also look out and see the world below me. I just feel part of everything up here.
On the lower level of the house is a whole separate area that works as a great space for family and guests.
Our wonderful downstairs family entertainment area is awesome. My husband has his big screen television set and his piano back here that he plays occasionally, and then our lovely bar here.
The downstairs also has spare bedrooms and its own separate laundry room.
It just works out great.
As does the whole house.
It's just comfortable. It's open, it's huge. People come in and they're kind of amazed at how high the ceilings are and everything. But the one thing that they always say is, this is really a comfortable house. We feel like we want to come in and sit down.
Next,
the other piece that we added to the room was the gorgeous rose marble fireplace that was brought in from France.
the fun of updating a grand estate in the California countryside.